Good afternoon, students. Yesterday, we have discussed about the resistance of the conductor depends on what are the factors. So based on that, already we have solved so many, there are numericals. So the formula is R is equal to rho into L by A. So students, today we will go into the again details of this formula and what this formula signifies. So what are the results that can be obtained by using this formula? And this formula is a self-explanatory, so many things. How? The students, this R is a resistance, already I told you. And rho, it is a resistivity. L is a length of a conductor, and A is a area of cross section. Now it signifies the resistance is directly proportional to length of a conductor. Students, if the length of the conductor is more, definitely, because this is a sign of the direct relationship. If length is more, definitely the resistance will be more. If the length is less, the resistance will also be less. Is it clear, student? Because resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. Number two, the resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross sections. The resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross sections. If the area of cross section of the wire, for example, wire, I am taking example of a wire, say copper wire. If the area of cross section of that wire is less, if the area of cross section is less, the resistance will be more. And if the area of cross section is more, resistance is less. If it is less, then resistance is more, because they are in the inversely proportional. Area is less, resistance is more. Area is more, then resistance will be less. Is it clear, students? Now, based on this formula, now today we'll solve the numericals and NCERT questions also. Now, students, there is generally this question is being asked in the exam, board exam and the competitive exams. Why? The copper or the aluminum wires, copper or the silver wires or the aluminum wires, they are being used in the electric for electric supply and all. Reason? Because for the longer transmissions, because copper and silver, they are having the low resistivity. They are having the low resistivity. Once the resistivity is low, they are having the good connectivity, that property. The property of the conductivity is good in case of copper and the silver. That's why the copper and the silver, these wires are being used in the electrical supply for transmissions of the current. Very, very important questions. Is it clear, students? Now, students, today we'll see these numerical and the NCERT questions which are given on your page number 209. Now, I'll read it out, the statement of the first questions, then what is given in this statement, then how to solve this question. First question is, I'll read it out, question number 1 on page number 209 of your NCERT book. On what factors does the resistance of the conductor depends? Already, students, before that this question starts, already I've written the answer of that questions. So your answer of your question number 1 will be, on what factors does the resistance of the conductor depends? Your resistance of the conductor depends on the number 1. What are the factors? Length of the conductor, students. Length of the conductors. Is it clear? First is the length of the conductor. Number 2, area of cross sections. And third, there is a third more factor is there. The third factor is the nature of the conductors. So I'll write down nature of the conductor. Nature of the conductor. What it means, nature of the conductor means the resistivity. Already I have given you the definitions of the resistivity. The resistivity is the property of the materials. The resistivity is the property of the material, that how much it opposes the flow of electric current. If the resistivity is high, then definitely it will oppose the flow of electric current. If the value of the resistivity is less, it will definitely, the current flowing capacity will increase, because the resistivity and current, that is also there in the inverse proportions. Clear, student? So there are three factors. First is the length of the conductor, number one. Number two, area of cross sections, and number three is the nature of the conductor, nature of the conductors. So answer of your question number one. Is it clear, students? Now I'll read it out the question number two. The question number two is that statement is like this: will the current flow more easily through the thick wire or the thin wire of the same material when connected to the same source Y? Again, I'll read it out, the statement, students. Please first read the statement very carefully. Now, statement is like this: will the current flow more easily? Will the current flow more easily through a thick wire? Thick means the thickness is more, or a thin wire, the thickness is less, of a wire, same material when connected to the same source Y. Now, student, there are two wires are given. One is a thick wire and one is a thin wire. Now, he is asking in which wire the flow of the current will be more and why. Now, student, according to the formula, it is because already I told you that this formula is a very, very important, and it will just give you the by using this formula, so many questions will be solved based on this formula. So again, I'll write down formula: R is equal to rho L by A. What it indicates? Now here in this question, it is being asked that the area of cross sections, one wire is thick, another wire is thin. Thick wire means the area of cross section is more, and thin wire, it means the area of cross section is less. Is it clear, student? Now, if the wire has more area of cross section, now definitely the resistance, because the resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross sections. So, students, very carefully, so we'll obtain the answer by using this formula. How the answer will be, this will be obtained by using this formula. Here the area of cross sections. If the wire is thick, here I write down both the statement. If wire is thick, if wire is thick, then it means it has more area of cross sections. Understood? I draw the two types of wire. See, so one is this type of wire. So another one is a so definitely, student. So I can say that this is a thick and this is thin. Is it clear, student? So the diagram itself, it explains that the area of cross section of the thick wire is more in comparison to the area of cross section of the thin wire. Now, students, as per the statement given in your question number 2, the thick wire has more area of cross section. Now, this formula, R is inversely proportional to 1 by A. If area of cross section is more, definitely the resistance will be less. Area of cross section is more because resistance and area of cross sections both are inversely proportional to each other. Already I explained, student, to you that inverse proportions, if one quantity is increasing, simultaneously the another quantity it will reduce. This is If it is increasing, if the area of cross section is more, definitely now the resistance will be less. Is it clear, students? Now, given the wire is thick, means the area of cross section is more and the resistance will be less. Now, student, we have reached up to the now resistance is less. Now, further to that, once the resistance is less, resistance means to oppose the current. Resistance means to oppose the current. Now, student, the value of the resistance is more, it is less. It means it will allow the more current to pass through. It means the value of the resistance will be less, and it will allow more current to pass through. More current to pass through. Is it clear, students? Hence, we have concluded that what we have concluded, wire is thick. Wire is thick, area of cross section is more. Area of cross section is more. Area of cross section is more means the resistance is less. Area of cross section is more, resistance is less. Resistance is less, then current is more. So the wire which is having a more area of cross sections has less resistance, and simultaneously the resistance is less, that it will allow the more current to flow through it. Is it clear, student? So next statement is if the wire is thin, that it means the area of cross section is less. If the wire is thin, the area of cross section is less. Once the area of cross section is less, it means the resistance is more. Clear, student? Once the resistance is more, it means the resistance means to oppose the current, and to oppose the current means it will not allow the current to pass through. Hence, the thin wire will not allow the current that much, which is this thick wire will allow the current to pass through. Is it clear, student? The answer of your question number 2, the thick wire will allow to pass the more current when resistance is less. We have calculated it will allow the more current to pass through, but in case of wire is thin, that time the area of cross section is less, resistance is more. Resistance is more means it will allow the less current to pass through, and hence this was only being asked in your question number 2. Is it clear, student? The answer of your question number 2, it is a self-explanatory. If you know the formula, R is equal to rho L by A. That's why in starting itself, already I told you, this formula is a very, very important, and it is a self-explanatory, that it will give you so many, because the results based on this formula, you will obtain so many results. If some question is being asked, say I got a wire which is having more length, whether it will allow more current or less current. Simple question for your competitive exam or the board exam, because directly questions, they are not being asked in the exams. Student, indirectly they are asking the questions. As it is your level, it is in the, means now you are in the 10th standard, and definitely you will be appearing for NTSC exams and other competitive exams. There it is being asked. The length of the wire is more or increase, what will be effect on the current? So this is the thinking question that you have to think. Once I am increasing the length of the conductor, say this type of the question is there in your exam, NTSC exam. If the length of the wire is increased, number 1, it means because it is directly proportional to the resistance. If length is increased, definitely resistance will increase. Once the resistance will increase, if resistance is more, it will allow the less current to pass through. So the answer of this question will be, if the length of the conductor is increased or the length of the wire is increased, it will allow more or the less current to pass through. It will allow the less current to pass through, will be the answer of your this type of the questions. Is it clear, students? So now we will move further to the question number 3 of your NCERT, page number 209. So I'll read it out, the statement. If you want to note down, please, you can note down the answer of question number 2. Is it clear, students? Now, the question number 3 of your NCERT on page number 209. I'll read it out. The question number 3. The statement is like this. Let the resistance of an electrical components, let the resistance of the electrical components remain constant. The first statement itself, the resistance remain constant. Yes, students. While the potential difference across the two ends of the component decreases to half of its former value, what changes will occur in the current through it? Now, students, as per the statement of your question number 3, what it says, first we'll understand the statement. Once the statement is understood, so definitely means there is no problem in solving this type of the questions. So the statement is like this: the resistance is constant. The value of the potential difference, it is changing, and what will be the effect of on the current? If it is potential difference, it is changed to half. Now, students, here we will apply the Ohm's law. According to the Ohm's law, we'll write down. According to Ohm's law, what it says, students, Ohm's law says that the potential difference across the conductor is directly proportional to the current passed through that conductors, or V by I is equal to constant. This is the statement of Ohm's law. The ratio of the potential difference to the current is equal to constant, that's called resistance. The statement of your question number 3. Now, students, what it signifies, as it is while solving the question number 2, the formula was self-explanatory, and it was indicating, or it was that there was so many things we have obtained from that formula. Similar to that, now by using this formula, V by I is equal to R. This formula is also self-explanatory. What it indicates, or what it signifies, students, it signifies that V is directly proportional to I. That's why we are removing the sign of the proportionality, and we are using the constant R into I, or V by I is equal to R. It means the potential difference is directly proportional to the. Now, students, the potential difference is directly proportional to the current. The potential difference is directly proportional to the current. Clear, students? Now, already I have explained that if they are in the direct relations, if two quantities they are in the direct relations, if this quantity is increasing simultaneously, this quantity will also increase because they are in the direct relations. If they are in the inverse relations, one quantity it is increasing simultaneously, another quantity will decrease. If they are in the direct relations, if this quantity is decreasing, this will also decrease. If it is increasing, it will also increase because they are in the direct relations. Here, if there is any variations, students, if there is any variation in the potential difference, definitely it will affect to the current value of the current also. Because current and the potential difference both are in the direct relations, both are in the direct relations. Here the potential difference and the current, they are in the direct relations. If there is any change in the potential difference, if there is any change in the potential difference, simultaneously there will be the same change in the value of the current. Hence, the students, the potential difference is decreased to half the current will also decrease to half. Reason, because both are in the direct relation. So we can write down the answers by writing this formula, and further we can write down, because potential difference and current, the potential difference and current, they are directly proportional to each other's once the value of the potential difference decreases to half, as per the statement of the question number 3. If the value of the potential difference decreases to half, simultaneously the value of the current will also decrease. This is the answer of your question number 3, NCERT, page number 209. Is it clear, students? Question was, now if the resistance remain constant, if the potential difference across the end of the conductor it decreases to half, what it affects on the current? This was the statement of question number 3, and answer is if the value of the potential difference decrease to half, definitely the value of the current will also decrease to half, because both are in the direct relationship. Potential difference is directly proportional to the current according to the Ohm's law. So this will be the answer of your question number 3. Is it clear, students? Now further, now we'll continue with the question number 4 of your NCERT. Now what it says, students, I read it out, the statement of your question number 4. Question number 4, what it says: why are the coils of electric toasters? Again, I read it out, the statement. Whatever the questions are given in your book or in any extra question, student, always remember one thing. Whenever you are appearing in the exam, also whenever you are solving this numerical, please read the statement very carefully and at least 2 times. Very carefully 2 times, because when you will read this statement first time, so sometimes so many things you will not be able to understand, but once you will read the second time or the third time also, that time so many things will be clear to you. Now according to the statement, that's question number 4 of your NCERT. What it says: what are coils of electric toasters and electric irons made up of an alloy rather than of the pure metals? Because students, now the toasters and the electric irons, their coil is made up of alloy rather than of the pure metals. Why? It's a very, very important questions for the competitions and competitive exams, students, especially NTSC, NDA, and other science Olympiads, and sometimes this type of the questions are being asked in your CBSE board exam also. Because the reasoning questions generally they are asking, because they want to enhance or they want to check who is sitting at the other end, who is checking, who is asking the questions. They want to check your thinking skills, students, that whatever is given in your syllabus, so that your thinking skills. So definitely this question is, so the answer of this question is the resistivity of the alloy is higher than the pure metal, students. Now pure metals, here I write down the pure metal is good conductor. Once I have written, students, the pure metal is good conductor of electricity, definitely it will have low resistivity. The value of the resistivity will be less if it is of the pure metal or if it is a good conductor. Number 1, it's clear. First step is clear. Now, student, if it is alloy, already I explained in my previous lecture to you what are alloys, and alloys are those materials. It is a combinations of the metal with the another metal or metal with the non-metals. Generally, this nichrome filaments of the electric irons, it's made up of the nichrome. And in my previous lecture, I already explained nichrome is an alloy which is made up of the 4 materials. 4. First is a nickel. Number 2 is a chromium. Then it is a manganese, and one is a iron. Four things if we are mixing. Four elements, number one, nickel, number two, chromium, then manganese, then iron. If these elements, they are mixed together, then the nichrome will be formed and it is used as a filaments of the electric iron. Now question is this, why the pure metal is not being used? Then alloys we are using as a filaments in the electric iron or the toaster. Question was like this. Now student, now alloys, because we are using the alloys is having the high alloys are having more resistivity. They are having more resistivity. They are having more resistivity than pure metal. If we'll compare with the pure metal, they are having the alloy will have the more resistivity and it will not undergo oxidations, and alloy will not, first step is like this. Number two, alloy will not go under oxidations, under oxidation. Under oxidations means they will not burn. I can write down, they will not burn. Oxidations or burn, they will not burn easily, even on heating at high, on eating, on heat, if even on heating at high temperatures when red hot, even though when it is red hot, even though when it is red hot. Is it clear, students? Even though when it is red hot, then also it will not allow to melt. It will not allow to melt. Is it clear, students? I have written here. It will not allow to melt. Reason, because first is why we are using as an alloy instead of the pure material, because alloy is having more resistivity than the metal. Number one, first point. Number two, the alloy will not undergo oxidations or burn easily on heating, even though at high temperatures or even though when it is red hot. That's why we are using alloy rather than of the pure metal. This is the answer of your question number 4, students. Is it clear, students? Is it clear, students? Answer of your question number 4. Now, student, next question. Question number 5. Question number 5, students. I'll read it out, the statement. There are 2 parts are given. Now, this question is also very, very important for their competitive exams and board exams. Student, again, reasoning questions. Use the data table in the, which is given on the 12.2 tables. It is given in your NCERT book, students. You can go through there's a table where the different resistivity, materials resistivity is given, shown. Now, student, using the data in the table 12.2 to answer the following questions. Now, what are the questions they are asking? Number 1, first questions, which among the iron or the mercury is a better conductor? Iron, they are having the comparison between the 2. One is the iron, second one is the mercury. Here I'll write down the formula. There's a symbol of iron. Iron add mercury. This is iron and it is mercury. Now, students, they are asking which among the iron and the mercury has better conductor and why. Number 2, then which material is the best conductor? Now, student, these both are the questions are very, very important. Now, answer of this, the iron, if you will go through the table of that is a table which is where the resistivity, value of the resistivity is given. So we'll find that in case of iron, the value of the resistivity, it is given as a 10 raised to power 10 minus 8 ohm meter. The value of the resistivity of the iron, it is given as a 10 into 10 raised to power minus 8. And whereas the mercury, the value of the resistivity of the mercury, it is given as a 94 into 10 raised to power minus 8 ohm meter. What it signifies, students, if by seeing both the values, the resistivity, iron resistivity 10 into 10 raised to power minus 8, the value of the resistivity of the mercury 94 into 10 raised to power minus 8. What it signifies, both the values, this signifies, there are so many things. The major thing is that the value of the resistivity is less. Again, I'll repeat the wordings. If the value of the resistivity is less, in the case of iron or the mercury, we are having the comparison of two, iron and the mercury. The resistivity of the iron is less. It is 10 into multiply with the 10 raised to power minus 8 ohm meter. I have written here the ohm meter. It is the SI unit of resistivity. Already, students, in my previous lecture, already I announced that whenever you are writing any of the value, any of the physical quantity, must write with the SI unit. So definitely must write the SI unit. So ohm meter is the SI unit of the resistivity. The resistivity of iron is 10 into 10 raised to power minus 8, and the resistivity value of resistivity of mercury 94 into 10 raised to power minus 8 ohm meter. So if you will compare both the value, the iron, in case of iron, the resistivity is less. Once the resistivity is less, then it means it will allow the more current to pass through. Once it will allow the more current to pass through, it is known as the good conductor. It is known as the good conductor. Is it clear, student? Now, why out of iron or the mercury? The iron answer will be the iron is known as good conductor rather than mercury, because its resistivity is less and it will allow the more current to pass through. Once it will allow the more current to pass through, that's why the iron is known as good conductor of electricity. The answer of your first part of question number 5 of NCERT. Now, hello. Yes, students, your first part, the answer of your first part, that the iron is a good conductor of electricity because the resistivity is less, it will allow the more current to pass through. Now the second part, the silver has lowest resistivity. Now this was the answer of your A part. Now I'll go for B part. Now students, B part, why the question is, I'll read it out the statement. Your B part is which metal has the best, which metal is the best conductor? Best conductor. Now students, according to you, if I'll ask this question to you, best conductor, we can say which type of the materials? The best conductor means it should have the lowest resistivity. Jiski resistivity, student, the material which is having lowest resistivity, definitely that will be the good conductor. Hence, while going through the table 12.2, which is given in your NCERT books, the silver has lowest resistivity. I will write down silver has lowest resistivity, has lowest resistivity. It is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 8. It is a ohm meter. सबसे कम जो रेजिस्टिविटी है वो सिल्वर की है स्टूडेंट्स. दैट्स व्हाई द सिल्वर इज नोन एज, सो सिल्वर इज नोन एज, hence silver is known as, silver is known as best conductor. Reason, because its resistivity is the lowest. Resistivity is a low level, very, very less. It means conductivity is very, very high. So student, so today we have completed our NCERT questions on page number 209 in details. Concept also I have explained you in details, even though the factors of the resistance on what are the factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends, and simultaneously the Ohm's law again into details. So student, if you are having any doubt, please you may ask.